48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. And welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a footpod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a footpod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live around the world on Facebook, on twitch.tv, on Mixer and on YouTube. While we're getting everything set up, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Runs and Rides YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/FilmMyRun, on Twitter at FilmMyRun, and you can also go to the website, which is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax and watch me do all the hard work. I've just discovered something hilarious, that my treadmill goes up to an elevation, an incline of 12%. Yesterday I did a session where I said the maximum my treadmill would go up to is 10%. And I don't think I've ever realised it goes up to 12%. And I just whacked it up today as far as it would go, and up it went to 12%. So I can do a 12% gradient hill. Hang on a second. So I'm going to just go for 3 or 4 kilometres. I'll put 5 up on the countdown. 3 or 4 kilometres at 12%. What does that give me? So 10% would be 100 metres every kilometre. So 12% is going to be 120. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 120 metres per kilometre. So 4 kilometres. 2, 4, 6, 8 would get me 480 metres of ascent. 480 metres of ascent in 4 kilometres. So, but it may involve some walking, like now. I'm watching Facebook chat, I'm watching YouTube chat. I know there's not many of you around. It is a working morning here in the UK. And if you're in America, you're still in bed. So we'll just get on and do what needs to be done. So I ought to start running, really. Start out very, very slowly. I'm going to start... 2 seconds. Hold on. Shut up, Herring. Yeah, I know, but it's just easier. It's easier for me to come here. It takes me... Hello, Jonathan. It takes me 3 kilometres to run to the nearest hill. So I may as well just walk into the garden, and here I've got 12% elevation. I don't know why I always thought it was 10%. I always thought my treadmill only goes up to 10%. So when I've done the paddle here and lifted it up, I've stopped at 10 because I thought that's as far as it goes. And then today I've just pushed it all the way and it's gone up to 12%. What a doofus. Anyway, now let's walk the first 500 metres. It does feel steep, this. Hello, Paul. Oh no. Yeah, I'm going to run tonight. I'm going to go out with the club tonight. I was supposed to do Turn It Up Tuesday at midday today with Darren, but I've just realised we've got to take the car in for a service. So I'm not doing Turn It Up Tuesday at 12 o'clock. I will be out. Yeah, this feels steep. We've got to get running. We'll do 4 kilometres. And then I'll go out with the club tonight and do a bit more. I dare you, Ryan, I dare you to do Monday Run Club at 15% next week. How do you know? How do you know what percentage the hill is in real life? How do you work that out in real life? Is there some setting on your watch you can look at to see what percentage it is? Oh, no heart rate. Hang on. Let me get my heart rate going. Menu. Heart rate. Come on. There it is. Oh, okay, it has a sign. Yeah, all right. Well, the hills I run up are generally trails, and they don't have signs. So, oh, I've also got Turn It Up Tuesday written on my. I could change that, couldn't I, as well? Hang on. Bear with me while I change the title of the run. Title editor. Data source. Oh, that says track session. Sorry, I'm just messing around myself now. Be with you in a sec. Elevation. I'll get running in a minute. should work now. Darren Thompson, good morning. Stephen, can I ask what HR monitor you use, please? Only my watch, Darren. So I've got my Fenix watch, which I am broadcasting heart rate from the wrist to the Ant Plus sensor on the computer, and the heart rate chest straps. I find them irritating, so I don't wear them, even though technically they are slightly more accurate. But the accuracy of the optical heart rate sensor on the wrist is good enough for me. This one is not so good as a previous watch I used to own. But I'm happy enough with it, so it does the job for me. Generally, I find it's okay. Okay, Ryan, yes. Do Group C or something at 15%. That'd be hilarious. If only you could stream it and I could watch. Jonathan Cost, here's an interesting military treadmill training thing. Walking backwards 3 kilometers per hour at maximum gradient improves core strength. Forgive me for not trying that right now. Wow. Yeah, well, I can imagine it would do. My head is not far off the ceiling, but I am quite short, so I get away with it. Tim Gross could never do this. Right, we'll go up to 6. So I'm going at 6 kilometers per hour now on a 12% gradient. Actually, I should have kept it. I'll keep it at 5.5. Keep it at 5.5 until 1 kilometre, and I'll see if I can bump it up a little bit every kilometre. I'll bump it up. Yes, it does, Andy. Andy Simpson asks, does the treadmill I have transmit elevation data to Zwift? Yes, it does. So, and if it didn't, I wouldn't do this training, because I have to have it on my Strava. So, yeah, when I finish the run, I'll be able to look at Strava and Garmin Connect, and it will have the elevation listed on there, so I can add that to my training goals. Because my training goal for the next 8 weeks or so, 7 or 8 weeks, needs to be between 1,000 and 2,000 meters of elevation per week. Now, usually I would get that on the hills outside, the real hills, but if I can get some of it done on the treadmill, then all the better. You know, I'm still on my tiptoes. I'm still using my calf muscles and strengthening my calf muscles to climb the imaginary hill. The only difference being the terrain. Obviously, there are no rocks or anything difficult to negotiate when you're running on a treadmill. But you're still training the muscles, and it should certainly help. So I did 500 meters yesterday. If I can do another close to 500 today, rest day tomorrow, and do Wednesday workout tomorrow, interval session, and then do some more hills towards the end of the week. So if you did a 5k at 15%, that's 750 meters, isn't it? Thanks for the ride on.
Right on.
Didn't notice who that was. So you can see my heart rate is now at 138, 140, so we are easily getting into zone 3. I don't want to go really into zone 4. At 12%, Daniel. I'm on 12% elevation. It's ridiculous because for months, well, probably since I've had this treadmill, I only thought it went up to 10%. I've discovered this morning it goes up to 12%. Maybe I have had it at 12 before, I don't know. I can't remember. It is, what's depressing actually, is watching my avatar walk while I'm running. It would be good if Zwift could detect by my cadence, and also maybe detect by the elevation. They don't have to do anything with the elevation data, but they could see that I'm on an elevation, on an incline, and that could cause my avatar to run. So, you know, they can measure the elevation incline data and say, okay, he's at 10% elevation, 10% incline, and he's going at 6 kilometers per hour. We'll make the avatar run at that speed. Yes, Daniel, so I'm going to try and do 4 kilometers at this incline. I did 5 kilometers yesterday at 10%, so it's perfectly doable, but I don't want to overstrain myself, so I don't want to get into zone 4 of the heart rate. One thing you can do if you start a training block, it's tempting to kind of jump in and go all guns blazing, and by the end of the second week you're so tired you can't do anything. So start a bit slowly, like in a race, you know. Start slow and get faster. You start easy and get harder as your body becomes used to the increased workload. Well, zone 5 is my friend, Ryan, but not all the time. I don't want to be in zone 5 all the time. And for what I do, and what you do, zone 3 is the zone that you will be in most of the time, to be fair. So when we're doing distances of 50, 100k and 100 miles, you shouldn't really be going into zone 4.
Jack it up.
So if you can do a lot of your training in zone 3, then it'll serve you well. Jonathan, because I have a race in March called the Trans Gran Canaria, which is 128 kilometers, and I think it's 6,000 or 7,000 meters of ascent. I can't remember now, but it's a lot anyway. And I need to up my training and put the effort in. When I did TDS in Chamonix, obviously I'd been out injured for a few weeks anyway, but I really suffered through lack of hill training. Yeah, that's fair enough, Ryan. Thanks, Matthew Peter Bates, thank you. Yeah, I will. I don't know about beast. Grind it out. is what we have to do. I'm going to try and increase the pace a little bit each kilometre. So just get a little bit faster. Maybe by the last kilometre I'll get to see the avatar running. We'll keep it at 6 kilometres per hour until we get to 2k. And then kilometre 3, we'll go up to 6.5. Kilometre 4, I'll try and do it 7. So we'll see what happens. Oh, blimey, Matthew. Good luck to you, buddy. Tough to know what to say in a situation like that. But all the best to you. Right, look, I'm in zone 4, 161. So I've been working harder than I would like to. Maybe still a bit tired, or maybe the reading's wrong. Okay, we'll keep it going, Matt. Exercise can't do you that much harm, you know. Just don't want to overexert yourself, do you? So you haven't got the resources to fight the illness. But moderate exercise has got to be good for you. Yeah, so back down into zone 3. So maybe that was just a little jump. Hopefully I can stay in zone 3 for the majority. It's really depressing watching him walk though, isn't it? So just passing Buckingham Palace on the right, running down Pall Mall towards the Mall. Up on the balls of my feet, not quite tiptoes, but definitely forefoot running, engaging the calf muscles. Calf muscles are a lot more springy and a lot more powerful when they're fit to get you up hills. A lot more injuries occur when you try and run hills flat-footed and engage your hamstrings. Gosh, that can't be pleasant. But yeah, definitely feel like I'm working actually. And I am in zone 4 now. So if I'm going to go up to 6.5 and then to 7, I am definitely going to be working hard by the 4th kilometre. So here we are coming up to halfway, 2 kilometres done, and we'll pop it up to 6.5, see how I manage with that. Who knew London had so many hills, eh? Certainly didn't realise that Buckingham Palace was such a hilly area. T. Ruse from Spain, thank you very much for your ride.
Right on.
Do you know what? I was in Liverpool visiting my parents, my mother, and other relatives over the Christmas period. And one of my jobs is doing national race results. And when I was doing the race results yesterday, I noticed there were 2 marathons in Liverpool on December the 31st and January the 1st. If I'd known about them, I would have done them, Matt. I would like to do the rock and roll marathon, but it's just organising getting up there during like school time and all that kind of thing. But yeah, whilst I was in Liverpool, I would have loved to have done one of those marathons. It was called the Liverbird Double Marathon Day. Laura, thank you for your ride on.
Right on.
If you've not signed up to Zwift Power, go and do that, because the more we start racing on Zwift, Ryan, thank you.
Right on.
The more we start racing on Zwift, the more we will need Zwift Power to kind of separate legitimate runners from runners who are gaming the system. And Zwift Power does a very good job of eliminating people who don't have a heart rate monitor or who are excessively light or whatever it might be. So go and sign up to zwiftpower.com and also opt in to Zwift Power on the Zwift website. Yeah, I kind of consider Liverpool as one of my hometowns, so it makes sense that I should really do the Liverpool Rock and Roll Marathon. Yes, Darren, this is the start of my 8-week block to train for my Gran Canaria race. Darren, I'm not doing 12 o'clock now because I didn't realise I've got to do something with the car. I've got to take the car in to get serviced, so I can't do the 12 o'clock Turn It Up Tuesday. Okay, Ryan, take care. Shouldn't you be editing photographs instead of doing rides around Crit City? Get to work. John Hepplewhite, thank you for your ride on.
Right on.
And Sullivan as well, thank you.
Right on.
Okay, managing to stay in zone 3 again. So we've kind of jumped up to zone 4 for about 3 minutes, all in. But see you, Ryan. But yeah, back down in zone 3 now. Sweating a lot. I don't have the fan on though. No, Darren, I don't think so, because I'm going to go out with the club tonight. So I've got this run this morning, and then I'm going to run outdoors with my my local running club this evening. So I won't be on Zwift today after this. I'll be back for Wednesday workout tomorrow. Cheers, Darren. So Matthew, I used to do, years ago, I did Princess Park Run a few times, but then Crosby Park Run is nearer to where my mum lives, so I now do Crosby Park Run, although we didn't get there this year. We were going to do the New Year's Day Crosby Park Run, but it wasn't on, so that was a shame. 300 metres and we'll finally see my avatar start running. I'll bump it up to 7 kilometres per hour. Ed Wiley, thank you for your ride on.
Right on.
And Darren, thank you.
Right on.
Cheers, Darren. Another 10 XP points, 250 metres. Andrew Cutmore says he signed up for his very first ultra this year. 50 kilometres. Nice one. Good distance to start with. Just get over that marathon distance. Another 5 miles. I haven't been to Princess Park Run for many years now. Well, I say many years. 3, 4 years. Don't know. Okay, just coming up on the Houses of Parliament. So this is Birdcage Walk now. Final mile of the London Marathon along here in the other direction. And you carry on this way and you would cross Westminster Bridge. I'm going to be turning left and going along past Downing Street and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Okay, Matt, take care, buddy. Right. And in the distance there, you can see the Surrey Hills, which is not there in real life. So left we go, 3 kilometres just about done. So I've got to bump it up now for the last kilometre. Let's get the avatar running. Way! But this is going to be harder work now. So we'll see what happens to the heart rate.
Nice.
So there's the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, the cenotaph. Downing Street is not actually on Zwift, but it's on the left there, just past it. So 800 meters to go. Might do just a little bit more to make it 500 meters climbed. Simon, thank you.
Right on.
It's so easy to get set up for Zwift running. All you need are a few things. Firstly, access to a treadmill. Either at home or at the gym, it doesn't matter what kind of treadmill you use, any treadmill will work with Zwift. Next, you need a foot pod, preferably a Bluetooth foot pod, and the most popular ones to use at the moment are the Zwift Pod or the Stride. Then simply download the Zwift app onto any of these devices. So a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android phone, Zwift even works on Apple TV. Pair your footpod in the app, possibly add a heart rate monitor if you like, and that's it. You're all set up for Zwift running. So in real life, this is actually a 6% gradient, but we're doing double that, we're at 12%. I do feel like my heart rate is probably higher than what is being listed there, but it is now gradually going up. .150 BPM is probably nearer. Darren, it's 128 kilometres, and I think it's about 6,000 or 7,000 metres ascent. Look it up, Darren, Google it, Trans Gran Canaria 128. Okay, here we go into Trafalgar Square. See where we go now. .300 meters left. Just do a little bit more than that. But approximately. Neil Andrews, thank you for your ride on.
Right on.
Okay, coming up to 4K now. So this is where I was going to finish. I will just do a little bit more because that should be 480 meters of ascent. So now we'll just add on that 20 meters. So I'll go another 200 meters. More meters and then we'll call it a day. Just enough time to get showered and changed and take the car for its service. Good stuff. Thank you. Now, I always have trouble pronouncing your name. Celia.
Right on.
From Ireland. Thank you very much for your ride on anyway. Apologies for messing up your name every single time. Gavrilenko from Russia. Thank you as well, buddy.
Right on.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good session. So I think I might do it like that from now on, 4 kilometers. So we can get 120 meters of elevation in 1 kilometer. So if I just do 4 kilometers of running, just over 4 kilometers running, that should be 500 meters elevation. And that doesn't take, what, 44 minutes that took? So you see, that's a lot quicker than going out, having to run 3 kilometers to get to the trail, and then only, getting 200-300 kilometers into like a 10k run. And also it means, I will do hill reps. Hill reps is an important one, but it means I don't have to do hill reps all the time because the hills here where I live, no higher than a couple of 100 meters. So, you can't really run a consistently long stretch of hill before you have to turn around and come back down again. Whereas on the treadmill, I can just do 500 meters, I can do however many meters of ascent I want in one go without having to come down again. But I'll still do hill repeats. Obviously, that's an important part of the training. But it's handy to be able to have this option to do this here. And I guess come the race in March, I'll find out if it's been any use or not. Because I will do a lot of the elevation for this race on the treadmill here. So it'll be interesting to see. Darren Chandler Singh, thank you very much for your ride on.
I'm toast.
Okay, time for a shower. That is it. I will be back tomorrow for Wednesday workout tomorrow evening. I won't do hills tomorrow during the day, have a rest in the morning, and then we'll be on for the interval session in the evening. So take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your chat on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.